Perfect. So I'm here with Mr. Denis Frimpong, who again is coming up to his next fight. It's been a long time since I've had a talk with him. He was on the Octagon Challenge. Obviously, we seen the finale, and now he's fighting again, and he's up to his usual tricks. If anyone follows his Instagram, you will see. Thank you for taking time to join me. How are you? How are you since the challenge, and how looking forward to you getting back into the cage again?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me on, David. Once again, you're one of the OGs that had me on from early on in my career, gave me a platform in the first place when a lot of these other MMA media outlets didn't want anything to do with me until very recently when I was on the challenge and my name started getting a bit bigger and they all wanted me on. So, big respect to you for that, first of all, doing bits for the MMA game since you started. So. Um, how am I since the challenge? I'm good. Obviously, wasn't the result we all wanted. Including Octagon. Let's be honest, mate. I haven't heard anything of him. Have you seen anything of George or heard anything from George since he
It's
won?
no, not
They've
much.
they've they've not. There's not been any bit of him, mate. He's a ghost. He's a phantom. So I think they regret me not winning. To be quite honest, they probably wish I had a won that. Um, just because they know that I'm the guy. Let's be honest, I'm the guy from the show. I am the guy off that whole show. No disrespect to the Irish lads, but you just go on YouTube and look at all the episodes, and every single one of them thumbnails had my face in it. So I think that just goes to show who the main character of the show was. And look, the main character doesn't always win. Do you know what I mean? Like the main character doesn't always win. Let's be honest. You know, um, Daenerys Targaryen didn't win in the end, did she? So, and she was kind of main character. Jon Snow died in the fucking thing and then got brought back to life. So, this is my rebirth. This is my getting brought back to life. And 2024 is going to be a big year for me. Um, yeah, I'm going to show that now next Saturday when I go pepper this guy up nicely.
Perfect. First of all, I want to thank you for your comments. Like I said, I'll always be a part of your journey. As long as you want me there, I'll always have check-ins with you. We'll always have entries because you were so good at giving me the time at the start when a lot of people didn't want to give me the time as well. So, um, yeah,
That works both ways. That works both ways, David. Yeah.
yeah, no, I understand.
I'll always have time for you, lad.
Same as brother, same as. Obviously, the show didn't go how we would have wanted. Like you said, the show, you were the main protagonist in it, as we knew you would be. Since the show, obviously, when you lost, it's part and parcel, obviously, with the way you conducted yourself within the house with everyone. What was the blowback like when you lost, and how does that affect you mentally, if it does?
Um, yeah, it doesn't affect me mentally, mate. I was ready for it. You know what I mean? You take a big risk when you play the game that I play. And look, I'd rather be hated than no one have an opinion on me. There's nothing worse in this sport than no one know who the fuck you are. And there's many fighters out there that do the whole silent martial arts thing. You know, you win, no one cares. You lose, no one cares. People wanted me to lose. A lot of people wanted me to lose, and I lost. And still, even with the hate and all that other shit, they still have an opinion. They still go and comment on the fight. Blah 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 blah. You're still generating views. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm still winning. Um, yeah, I might not have won the fight, but I won a lot of fans. I turned a lot of haters into fans, and yeah, it is what it is. I turn a lot more of them haters into fans as the years go on. But people don't understand as well that like I'm still a baby in this sport. I haven't even near reached my peak in my skill. I feel like athletically I'm coming close to my prime. The next 2 3 years I'd imagine I'd be in my prime. But my skills peak, I've not even scratched the surface. So there's a lot to come from myself in this sport. And yeah, the haters are gonna hate. I honestly I wouldn't give two rats, mate, about someone's opinion that's never fought in their life, or even worse, someone else that fights that no one fucking cares about because they're not signed to any show. and they're still fighting journeyman on the regional scene. So
Yeah, like that. I think from knowing you before that you would have been ready for that. You would have known there would have been blowback, but you seem to just take that in and use it as fuel. And like you said, there's nothing worse. I think I can't remember the exact quote, but it's along the lines of what you said. You want if people don't care, you don't matter. That sort of way. So if people are going to tune in to see you lose, they're still tuning in. If they're going to tune in to see you win, they're still tuning in. And with the silent martial artists, you've seen it before. You look at Bilal Muhammad, for example. Let's say he's on what 10 fight win streak.
yeah,
He is next. He is next.
yeah,
The same as Leon. They put Leon off for a long time before he actually got the shot because
yeah,
he
yeah.
wasn't as
And,
marketable.
and you'll get the shot. You'll get the shot. But there's a reason why Khabib was on a 11 or 12 fight win streak in the UFC before he got a shot at the belt, and Connor jumped up in weight, fought for the belt, he retired from the fucking sport, left. What happened there? Basically left to went to boxing. You know what I mean? Came back and fought for the belt first fight back. Do you know what I mean? There's a reason for that. So people can do their little silent ninja thing all they want, but I think first of all, it's not me. I'd feel like almost anxious sat at a press conference or sat having to fight a guy and being quiet about it, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like the whole point is to build hype. Like the whole point is like we're showmen. This is the entertainment business. You know what I mean? We're here to entertain people. Like it's not as if I talk shit and then I go in there and have boring fights. I talk shit. I entertain people. I get people interested in the fight, and then I have an entertaining fight. Do you know what I mean? So win, lose or draw, mate. No one gives a fuck. End of the day, people are still going to pay to tune in to watch me fight because they know there's going to be blood. They know there's going to be bad blood before the fight. They know there's going to be shit talk, and they know there's going to be some fancy shit thrown in there as well, some spice.
Yeah, like that. Obviously, when you first came in, people were like, "Oh," because obviously you're in the jit scene, but you're striking like that. Your elusiveness as well, trying to get in and out and not be hit. Some of the kicks, obviously, we seen the kick on the show. I think I said to you at the time, "That's a finished head kick," and you were like, "Oh no, I don't think so." Because and then I was like, "No." Then when I seen it, I was like, "I fucking knew it was a head kick finish from the thing." But um, you come in like that. You're always an exciting fight. Your next opponent, I've looked at him. I haven't looked too much into him, but I've looked at his record. He's got 29 fights per what I found from Tapology. Chances are there could
Yeah,
be more bounced around there.
yeah,
You're you're 3 fights in. This will be your fourth fight.
yeah.
Um,
Technically, this will be my sixth fight under professional rules.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm 3-2 at the moment, looking to go 4-2. Uh, you know, um, yeah, he has. This will be his 30th fight, as well as boxing. He's done bare knuckle boxing matches. He's a national champion in boxing. He's done some kickboxing fights and some stuff like that. So he's a very experienced guy, you know. But yeah, I think skill wise, he doesn't match to me. Do you know what I mean? They're selling it as the biggest mismatch in Octagon history, and I think I will show it to be. Um, yeah, I think I will show it to be a mismatch indeed. Um, with the mismatch not being the way that they think it's mismatched. I'm way too good for this guy, and I'll show that on January 27th.
And is it Octagon promoting it as the mismatch, or is it just a casual? And how do you feel as an athlete that fights for them that they're doing it like this? Do you relish in it, or do you think is that being shade being thrown at you?
Um, Listen, I don't think it's shade. I think if you look at the records, officially, this is my third fight. Yeah, officially, on paper or whatever. And on paper, this is his 30th fight. So technically, he's got 10 times the amount of fights I have. And he had 20 pro fights before I even had my amateur debut. You know what I mean? So yeah, on paper it is a mismatch or whatever. But I think Octagon are not stupid. Pavel and Andre and the matchmakers, they're not stupid. If they thought that I had no chance of winning this match, they wouldn't have made the fight, would they? So they obviously know something that they don't want the fans to know. And I think how else do you sell a fight with a guy who's on paper 0-2 against a guy who's got 30 plus fights or whatever? He's about 50-50 record, but still, how else do you sell it other than, wow, this is a big mismatch? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, they know what they're doing. They're promoters. I'll let them do their job. I'll promote myself. They'll promote the fight. And when I come out victorious, I'll come out with a big performance bonus because obviously I'll have overcome the biggest mismatch in Octagon history.
And the more you actually say that to me, the more I'm thinking in my head, they're probably hoping you win because then that's how they market this after.
Listen, all I'm saying is, yeah, the day they agreed to make the fight between me and him, he was ranked number 8 in the lightweight rankings. Yeah. The day that they agreed to make the fight, he was removed from the lightweight rankings. So again, they obviously know something that they don't want the fans to know. And they obviously expect that I'm going to knock this guy out. And they didn't want it to be, it wouldn't have been a good look, let's be honest, for me to knock him out, have to be inserted into the top 10, and then a guy who's on paper 1 and 2 is in the top 10. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't have looked good on paper. But at the end of the day, mate, this is what I'm saying about records. Like, these records are for DJs. DJs spin records, mate. I spin people's fucking jaws. That's what my job is. Yeah. So records and this and that and the other. Alex Pereira, mate, has fucking 8 or 9 fights or whatever pro, and he's fucking double UFC champion. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, obviously there was a narrative behind it and all that other shit. You had a kickboxing background, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, mate, like he still has he had 5 pro fights when he fought for the UFC title. Do you know what I mean? And that's the UFC. So let's be honest, records are a load of bollocks. If we're going to take martial arts experience in there altogether, I've got over 150 grappling matches. Let's fucking whack them all on my record then. Do you know what I mean? So, and like I said, this isn't my third fucking pro fight, mate. This is my 6th fight under a pro rule set. 5 minute rounds, 3 rounds. Um, you know, one of those fights didn't involve elbows, but sure, PFL don't let elbows in, and they're considered pro fights. So,
MMA light is what it's like, isn't it? No elbows.
ask Hassan if it was light. I don't think he thinks it was light, mate. That kick to the chin wasn't light either, was it? So,
No, it definitely wasn't. But it's the PFL. That's another topic for another day. The no elbows thing is strange to me. But um, as for your opponent, I see the usual going on. It's not as intense as some of the other ones. Nothing can ever, I don't think, live up to the Chris Morris one. That was just relentless. But you're still on it. How do you feel about your opponent? Has there been much back from him? How has he taken what you've been serving?
now, do you know what? Seeing as you just mentioned my firstborn son, Chris Morris, he's actually fighting Muhammad Ali's grandson uh, in Saudi Arabia on PFL. And speaking of PFL, so congratulations to him, by the way. I hope he gets the job done. My firstborn son, he's doing me proud out there, now making his way into the pro scene after a couple of years and after a few successful title defenses since I chinned him. But yeah, congrats to him. Give him a bit of a shout out for that. What was the question?
How do you feel about your opponent and what's his reaction to your antics leading up to the fight?
I don't feel anything towards my opponents. I feel like he's another cog in the wheel, another victim in the way, and I'm going to spin his jaw as well, and I'm going to give him the rewind and rewind them back into fabric. Maybe he's hoping he can, you know, get a little blitz in. Maybe he's going to try wrestle me because he's seen George doing it, but he hasn't got the wrestling George has. I've improved since the George fight. Like I said, I'm only a baby in the game. I'm still getting newbie gains out of this, you know what I mean, this sport. He's such a veteran, like fight to fight, the improvements he's going to make are going to be tiny, minimal, incremental. The improvements I make fight to fight are going to be maximum, I'm 5 times the fighter I was when I fought George. That's honestly how much better I've gotten. Um, so yeah, we'll see. All I'm gonna say is, yeah, I've been having a lot of good bodies into spar this week, yeah, and the last couple of weeks of camp, and without kissing and telling, rounds have really been going my way. So, as I said again, records are for fucking DJs. Yeah, and I'm not DJ Menace. I am Menace. Spin your jaw, Frimpong.
That's good. I like that. I always love talking to you. I love your confidence. There's always a couple of sound bites that we can always take from the interviews, but there's always that you could nearly the whole interview could be a sound bite, really. But I like what you're talking about there because you see it a lot at the amateur scene as well and early pro. Do you think obviously him watching footage of you because you see it with amateurs all the time and early pros, like you could watch tape on just say your last fight and then your next fight you're completely different. Do you think that's what's going to surprise him?
It's not only that, mate. He's completely different. You know what I mean? George is 6'1", has almost the same reach as me. Um, has a big wrestling background, all these accolades. Only tasted defeat once in his MMA career at the IMAF Worlds, um, by decision. You know, so he's a different guy. Jan Siraki has, it's his 30th fight, but experience isn't always a good thing. I'm sure you in life have had good experiences and you've had bad experiences. Yeah. And some of those bad experiences can leave you with trauma, PTSD. Jan Siraki has 16 defeats. Yeah. So out of his 30 fights, 16 of those times, men have defeated him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be number 17. He knows how to lose. Within the first round, I think his experienced MMA brain will tell him, "Oh, okay, we've been here before. We know how this goes. This doesn't end well for us. Let's just try not get hurt here. Let's try and make it to the next one." You know what I mean? I've got a family to go back to. I've got kids. I'm in the army. I've got to go coach the fucking army on fucking Steven Seagal knife disarmament techniques. So he know how the fight's gonna go. And honestly, I believe within the 2 rounds he'll quit in there. I'll make him quit. Stefano Catacoli couldn't finish him. I will finish him. Um, and I'll just prove my superiority in there and my dominance. Um, I'm not looking for decision victories against this guy. You know, I don't often have decision victories. You know, so I think it'll go very similar to the Bo fight, except Bo was much harder than this guy and had a lot more to fight for that particular fight day. So yeah, this guy knows how to lose. He knows how to quit, and yeah, I'll bring him flashbacks of all those other 16 defeats he's had.
It's gonna be good. I can't wait to see the fight. When you get obviously leading up and you like this talk and you like aggravating them and you like getting under the skin, do you think when you get under people's skins, do you think that helps you within the cage? Does it make them more emotional, make them more rash because they want to go at you, they want to hurt you, or do you think they can phase it out and kind of just concentrate on the job?
Um, I wasn't even gonna shit talk this guy, mate. I respected him, and I still do respect him. As I said, I'm no, I'm supremely confident in my victory. I'm 10 days out, so if I wasn't confident at this point, I'm in the wrong fucking profession and I shouldn't be fighting. But at the end of the day, I do respect him. I respect him for taking the fight. On his 30th fight, to take a guy who's 0-2 on paper, who's a dangerous fight. You've just seen him fucking knock a couple guys out. You've seen him absolutely brutalize another guy's face. You know, um, he's long, he's rangy, he's technical, and you still took the fight. So fair play to him. I respect him for that. I have utmost respect for him for that. But I wasn't going to shit talk him. Honestly, I wasn't going to shit talk him. I was going to allow it this time. But the guy wanted it. You know what I mean? The guy started it. The guy fucking took a jab at me. Why? Why? Just leave me alone. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, I know I'm called the menace and that, yeah, but I don't have to always be shit talking some. With Solomon, mate, like when I fought Solomon, I didn't shit talk him really. Obviously, I said, yeah, I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. But I didn't really like go after him. I wasn't really making memes about him and that. You know what I mean? Same when I fought Babacar. You know what I mean? When I fought Babacar for my pro debut, I didn't really shit talk him. So yeah, I don't need to. You know what I mean? I can still go out there and perform, but he wanted it, so he got it.
And do you think he wanted it because he knows you're a good dance partner in building the fight? Or do you think he just wanted to take shots, try to get under your skin?
I think he's on a loss. You know, he's 34. He's looking down the barrel of retirement quite soon. If you know, let's be honest. Um, you know, he wanted a bit of a build on his name. You know, so for the first time in his Octagon career, he's fighting outside of his hometown of Ostrava. He's flying over to Newcastle, which is where he wanted to fight. I wanted to fight in Germany. I wanted a little trip away, you know, but he wanted it on Newcastle. Maybe he's never been to the UK before. He wants a little free trip over. Um, but unfortunately for him, he's going to spend, you know, the day after the fight in the hospital. He's not going to get to go out and see Newcastle for the beautiful city that it is. And I'm probably still going to be awake the next day from the sesh. So yeah, it is what it is. You know, he wanted me to build the fight a little bit. He knows that even if he loses, if he puts on a good performance, if he fight like warrior, he can like get few fans from UK, from Ireland scene. But listen, that's good on him. I know I'm gonna blow up after I spark him unconscious with something spectacular.
You're looking for something, a highlight reel, something to go viral. We've seen what you can do, whether it be striking, grappling, but I'm assuming you're going to want to knock. You want something out there that is just gonna
I
pop.
want I want something that's just never been done before on Octagon. You know what I mean? Whatever that happens to be, something that's never been done before on Octagon. And I'm looking for that performance bonus. I'll be honest, mate. I'm fucking skint. Yeah, between me and you know how it is.
Yeah.
Uh, in this sport, between everything else, like I'm skint. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, mate. I'm not living this high life. I live in the fucking gym. I train all day. Um, I have enough to just get me by to keep me going to train and to keep living this dream and chasing this dream. So yeah, I'm looking for that performance bonus, that 5K. That'll honestly, that 5K will do bits for me right now. You know what I mean? It'll set me up for the next 2 or 3 months at least. You know, maybe get a little trip to Thailand at the end of the year. So I'm looking to do something that's never been done on Octagon before, whatever that happens to come on the ground, on the feet, wherever it is. Um, but yeah, I think coming out as the biggest mismatch in Octagon history and doing something that's never been done before to the guy that was supposed to beat me, they can't deny me the performance bonus. Despite all these other big fights on the card, you know what I mean, that are definitely going to be big performances. Like there's going to be big performances. Jonas McGard's on there. You're at Mate Penas versus Bonner. You know, you've got good guys on the card. You know, so it's going to be a competition to see who can get this performance bonus. But I believe with what I do to this guy, I should get it.
Yeah, and like that, you're extremely confident. And like I said, I know people within the scene. I know it's tough. Do you think people come into MMA when you see your Conor McGregor's and you see the kind of UFC and you see the flash and you see this? Do you think people come into the sport expecting money? Because I know money isn't the main motivator, but you do need it. Do you think a lot of people come into the sport thinking, "Oh, look at Conor, look at John Jones, look at this," and they don't realize that it's not a glamorous lifestyle. I've been there. I've been there for Magas, obviously his weight cut, the week of the fight, what it's like after,
Mate,
and
Maga works a full time job.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Maga works a full time job to help it work. And I'll be honest, yeah, if I had a family and a kid and all this other thing, like I'd need to work a full time job to support myself. I wouldn't be able to just support a family off doing this. Do you know what I mean? I'll be honest. I'm lucky in that sense for now that I'm single. I haven't got kids, you know. But yeah, it's hard out there. You know what I mean? It is hard out there for everyone that's in this sport. It's not glamorous. It's not all this. All these other guys that you see, yeah, that'll be rolling around with like their fake Gucci, their fake Louis Vuitton, acting like they're living this high life. They're faking it till they make it. Do you know what I mean? And fair play to them. You know what I mean? Let them do that. That's never been my thing. Even when I have money, mate. When I have money, the last thing I'm gonna spend on is a load of Gucci shit. Do you know what I mean? I'm buying up land. I'm buying up property. I'm buying up fucking watches. expensive watches that I'm never gonna wear. You're never gonna see me wearing them. They're just gonna be sitting in me vault in my mansion, building value. You know what I mean? Because that's how I was raised. I was raised on growing your wealth and not just flaunting your wealth. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because that's what I seen. I can't remember who put it up actually. They put up earlier. I want to hand down property and land, not material things, Gucci bags, etc., stuff like that. And it's true. And
Gucci bags, mate. Gucci bags, yeah. If I buy a Gucci bag, a Gucci fucking whatever, a Gucci jacket now, yeah, for a grand and a half, 2 grand, yeah. The minute I put that jacket on, it is now worth 800 quid, 600 quid. Do you know what I mean? Simple as it's second hand now. Yeah.
yeah,
You buy a gaff in 10 years, it's worth twice the amount, 3 times the amount. You buy a Rolex and you don't wear it and you leave it. You let it accrue. You don't get customizations on it. You know what I mean? But these are all the things that, like, obviously I come from a working class background, but a lot of people that come from a working class background have never been really educated in these matters, you know. They just think I want to be like McGregor. McGregor has money. He has so much money that he can afford to do that. If I ever got McGregor rich, at that point, yeah, I'd fucking start buying all my shit. Do you know what I mean? But like, how many fucking MMA fighters get that rich? Let's be honest. Yeah.
him, him.
Him. That's it. That's it, mate. No one else. Even John Jones, the GOAT, nowhere near that rich. Khabib, rich, but Khabib's humble. Khabib still lives in his fucking mum's gaff. Do you know what I mean? Has a few gaffs about. He can travel to, move abroad, so he doesn't have to pay fucking hotels when he goes abroad and that. Lets his teammates stay in these gaffs while they're training in California or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And opens gyms, stuff like that. But yeah, for me, it's never been about the money. It's been about the love for the game. It's been about because if I wasn't doing this and I was working a normal job, a normal good office job like what I had before I quit to do this full time, yeah, I'd be going out on a Friday night and a Saturday night, and I'd just be getting into fights anyway. I'd probably end up getting arrested. Do you know what I mean? I'd probably end up having a fucking criminal record, fucking my life up because I do love just fighting. Do you know what I mean? Like I think Connor does as well. I think that's the reason he still fights. You know, I think some people just have that innate urge inside of them to fight. You know, whether I lose or I win, like I want to test myself and I want to have a knock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like that, someone actually said it before. Whereas, can you have a knock where you're not going to get arrested? So, at
You
least you
know?
do it in the cage, you do it under the settings, and like that, it's become the sport has blown up and it's so technical now, and it's such a pleasure to watch compared. I don't want to say compared to the old days because when it started, it was what it was and built it to where it is today. But you obviously want to go to the top. You've got the right tools in place. Octagon's a promotion that I like as well. I think they do really good storytelling. They do really good PR. What do you make of Octagon as the promotion and how they spin things, how they market things?
Yeah, I think they do a good job. You know what I mean? I think there's a few things they could probably do better in the UK, but I think so far, even the fact that they've taken that leap and taken that step and gone into the UK market and the Irish market and decided to expand and grow and learn from little things. Um, Andre and Pavel are doing a great job. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the people that came to watch me fight said the production is on like UFC level. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's no different from a UFC event in terms of the production that goes on, that goes into it, the lights, the like you say, the build up, the big screen, the big arenas. Um, so yeah, they're smashing it, mate. And obviously this fight's in Newcastle, Utilita Arena. It's a biggest arena in Newcastle, and I expect to see a good crowd there, you know, and I expect to see a good vibe off the crowd when I walk out. Um, but yeah, I think I want to fight on one of them European shows. I want to fight in the O2 in Prague. I want to fight in Munich or Cologne, you know, or even Bratislava. You know what I mean? I enjoy fighting. I've been to a Bratislava show and it was mental. Do you know what I mean? And obviously Armand and Shem have told me about the show in Prague in the Stvanica outdoors, mental. You know what I mean? And I want to see that. I want to know what that feels like. That's real intensity. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I live for, you know. And listen, crowds over there will probably be booing me because I'll be fighting a homeboy, and I'll revel in it. I'll enjoy it. I'll take all that sonic energy in, that those minor chords that woo, it's just like a vibration, isn't it? And all energy and matter is just a vibration condensed into matter. So like I said, I feed off that and I use that energy, and then I'll take that vibration and put it through someone's face.
I love talking to you. It's always a pleasure, and I love watching you fight as well. I've had the pleasure. I think I've only seen you fight once, but it was great to see. I think that was a Solomon fight, which was one of my favorite fights of that year. Remember
You were
that?
there for the MAGA fight, no?
No, I wasn't. I only
No.
started at the next Your show after that.
Okay.
'Cause
Okay.
that was the first show, wasn't it? You fought Maga.
That was the second one, I think. Second one.
Who was it then?
Yeah.
I don't think I was at that. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'd have to check because I
That's
think the
fair.
first one I seen Maga fought. I think Maga fought Max Lally.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
the first
The
first.
the Solomon fight was obviously like a top level amateur fight. Like two guys that were probably pushing close to going pro, even though he'd been fighting for time since I think he had like 14 fights or something before that. Um, I had 3 fights before that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, and I came out, I got the performance, done the job um against an experienced guy, and that was sort of the fight that made people open their eyes and go, oh shit, like this guy's not just chatting.
Yeah, because I seen it anyways from watching your fights. You got so much better in between each fight. Like you said, there was big jumps and big jumps and big jumps, and you always wanted the likes of the Solomons and these experienced guys, and they were like, "Oh, you've only one fight, two fights," and
I
then
got offered, listen, before that Solomon fight for IUR, Decky messaged me and he offered me 3 fights. Yeah. I think there was like a 3-1 guy, a fucking 2-1 guy, and then Solomon, 8-6. And I said, I want Solomon. So Decky, shout out Decky McAleenan. He knows I'm a real fighter, you know what I mean? He knows I'm a real fighter. He knows I'm about it. Um, but yeah, it's just a shame. I think I'm past the regional point now. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to take a step backwards. No disrespect to the regional shows, but I'm signed to Oktagon now. I wouldn't want to take a step backwards, but I'd love to fight a pro fight on IUR. And maybe one day we'll see how much they grow in that. They might end up being a massive show in a few years. We'll see. But yeah, I miss those days a little bit. You know what I mean? And you do miss those days of just fighting in the fucking Canal Court, or the MAGA fight was in a fucking CrossFit gym somewhere during
yeah, that
COVID.
was
Like,
during COVID, wasn't it?
you know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, those were the days, the COVID days where everyone, there's about 50 people allowed into the building. I think Decky the
There
strings
was,
pulled, but like I said,
yeah,
Decky
there was defo more than 50 people, but officially 50 people.
for sure. It's done now, but I think Decky's a good guy. He's gonna be fighting in Dublin, and the show he runs, like I said, is fantastic. And he said it to me before. So obviously he offered you Solomon, knowing that your experience level was there. He said someone might have 10 fights and someone might have three, but I know, like, skill for skill, they might make a better fight than you and just say the 3-1, because he goes, I just know
Yeah, yeah,
from being a fighter, this fight makes more sense because it's going to be more
yeah,
competitive. But
yeah,
no,
100%.
I want to wish you good luck on your fight. I'm going to be watching, as always. I'm going to be looking at your Instagram leading up to it. I'm going to be watching everything that's put out. Before you go, do you want to say anything?
Um, yeah, I just want to obviously shout out Octagon for giving me the fight. Shout out Jan Soraki for taking the fight, but he's getting minced up. Anyone that wants to watch the fight, Channel 4 online streaming next Saturday. You can get on Channel 4 online. You can get on the Zone or Octagon TV, and yeah, there's competitions going for ticket giveaways and stuff like that. If you can't afford tickets, so enter as many of them as you can. Maybe you'll win some tickets, and it's only a quick flight over to Newcastle from Ireland. Um, so yeah, try and get over. It'll be a good night of fights and a good little night out afterwards as well in Georgetown. We're going to take over that city, and yeah, it's going to be brilliant.
Perfect. I can't wait to see how it goes, and I can't wait to see what moment you produce on the night, because you were looking for something special, and I hope it's going to come. Knowing you, you know it's going to come yourself. So I can't wait. Thank you very much for your time, and I will talk to you closer to the fight.
Cheers.